Okay, so I took this out and I sprayed it. And this is what I'm using today, is the Sennelier Latour Fixative. It's very reliable. It sprays always very well. Never any weirdness. But I usually, I guess I feel like it doesn't set it quite as hard as I like it to. It doesn't create quite as brittle a new surface. Okay, I don't know if I said this already, but one thing I really noticed is after I sprayed it, is just all the white just disappeared on my now totally pink house. Okay, so I'm gonna just put the sky in again, and I'm just gonna use that same tiny piece I had before. And there you can see the difference in when you spray the fixative. Actually, I think this was supposed to be sky too. Probably none of that will even be in the picture. If it were to get framed, it'll all be under the frame. Okay, so now I've got my little bit of sky with my tiny piece of pastel. Yeah, it's just gonna work on the tree. Just gonna use a little stronger yellow. Oops, oh, there goes that. Nope, that didn't work at all, that color. It's just a little gummy. I don't know, this feels gummy too. And my paper's not tight. My paper's still not tight. Feeling unhappy. Hard to know, is the fixative making me unhappy or my pastels making me unhappy? Oops, golly. Golly. Okay. All right, I'm going to actually stop the film and I'm going to go look for some more yellows. All right, so I went digging around through my pastel boxes and I found these yellows, some Winsor Newton ones, some Mount Vision, a Sennelier yellow, that's really a green, and a Great American Artworks. They make good colors too. So let's just see. Yeah, that's not acting so flaky, so gummy. Not flaky, but gummy. So this is the Great American one. And this is the Sennelier. I think you can see it's just a very slightly different color. Honestly, it's not going down as quite as well as the Great American did. I'm gonna have to get my board that fell out at the back of my easel, because otherwise there's too much give. Okay, and now this is the old Winsor Newton. And really, it's honestly, the Great American is as good as this one, so they don't make them like they used to on these guys, so. Oh, come on. Let's see if I turn that clip around a bit. So those were all pretty much the same color, those ones I picked up. Let's see what this does. This is a slightly different Mount Vision. Oh yeah, look, that's a little different color. Slightly oranger, and also slightly harder. Okay, let's work on the dang house then. I'll put these over here in a box. I'm just going to go see if I had a lighter yellow in that other box. All right, you know, I don't think that's going to work. I think I should use a little white on top of some of the yellows. Just don't want it to be too much all the same color. Especially right here. And I want to kind of keep the lights connected. I'm not happy about that right there. Actually, I'm going to take my paintbrush. I shouldn't have had that come down so far. I think it's actually supposed to be daffodils right there, but it just... So I'm just using my crappy old paintbrush to kind of flick off some of that so I can make it a little darker in there again. All right, so now I think I'm gonna, oh golly, I'm gonna use this blue that I've been using so much in the house and just kind of come in here and hopefully try to lighten some of this. Instead of sky holes, I'm trying to put in building holes. I did not have a good color for the shadow of my, I don't have any color for the shadow of my yellows in shadow. I'm going to try this. No, that is too light. All right, so I'll try this. pretty sure I'm going to have to spray it again already. I just have that feeling. And I'm going to put a little more green back into it. And I'm going to restate my my twigs. All right, they're darker than that. Let's see, fine. It's a dark gray, and it's one I haven't used, so I've got a nice sharp edge. Probably would have been better to do this before I did the yellows, because now I'm going to have to come back and bury those. Yeah, down here I'll use the lighter color. All right, and then I just want to come back and bury those guys a little bit. So they're not just on the surface, so you want to think of your tree limbs as a skeleton. That sticks out in places, but you know, and even though these little limbs are really tiny, I want to have some feeling of light and shadow on them. And now the dang house. Okay. Wow, it's tempting just to try to find a bunch of the right grays and just do gray everywhere on the roof and stuff. Because clearly the pink is no good. All right, well, I'm going to try to tone down the pink with a little bit of violet. And I sprayed this till it was about black, and it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't feel hardly sprayed at all. All right. I think I'll put a little more yellows up there. Because I just don't know what's going on. And the truth is, there is a little more yellow up there, so let's just get rid of that roof. There we go. Now that no one knows. All right, but I got to do something about that window that's not the right shape. And whatever this is kind of confusing things. Maybe just get rid of the window too. Just have the house back there. All right, okay. God, okay, I'm just gonna make the house whiter. It's crazy that it changed so much. Okay, so well, that's good, because I wanted to make this side the whitest side. And then this side too, this is facing the same as this way, so it needs to be whiter. This faces that way, so it's whiter. And then this other side, the pink side now, I was going to get a really light bluish, greenish maybe. Actually, I thought it was going to be blue, but it looks really green on the pink. Here's a bluer one. Yeah, I just want to say once again, like the place that needs all the drawing and everything is over here on the far left. This is really annoying. Why do I do this all the time? All right. Just trying to tidy up the drawing a little bit. Oh, that's that damn gray. Or is that blue? I don't know. And honestly, this just looks exactly the same. But I don't know if I want to use that light as blue. kind of think that's not too bad. And I just need to get some sky reflections in those windows. This is a new pastel, so I'll just see if it will even work here. No, not really. Just polishes it. So I think that really shows you the difference. The fixative, this Sennelier fixative just doesn't make a hard enough surface that you could use your new pastels at this point. Even though it's just the stinkiest stuff ever, I did order myself 3 more cans of the Blick fixative. So that's what I'll be using all summer once I get them. So I just want enough detail in my house to, just enough detail to kind of tell the story. This is charcoal I'm using right there. And probably more than anything I'm using it because I knew it would. It was soft enough to go down on the pastels. Okay, I've got to do something about up here. That color is just not right. It's incredible how many pieces of this. It is one of my favorite colors, but I just swear it's everywhere. All right, so this is a little darker. I sort of feel like, honestly, it's just like I can't get it right. I can't quite control things up here in this corner. Oh, kind of like that. It's not really there. Let's see, can I do that here too? And maybe something warmer on the roof. Maybe that's what we need here. Okay, we'll try this. Wow. Okay, that was unexpected and completely wrong. All right, well, I'll try some blue then. The blue was kind of an intellectual decision, not a visual decision, just that blue is the complement of orange, so I thought that might knock it down some. And I wonder if I want a more, let's see if I can get a stronger blue up here in the sky. In my minuscule sky. Yeah, that is absolutely no good. Right, so what is it time to do when everything you do is no good? It's time to quit. But I'm gonna try to work over it all again before I give up. There's just so many colors in the white, but I just think, I don't know, I can't seem to do it, and maybe I think it'd just be kind of so distracting if I made all the variety. But that kind of is good. You need those darker to show that they're a different facing plane. And here too. Now this is some softer white here, not a Rembrandt white. With perspective, the biggest window should be this one closest to you. So just see if I can make that a little less, make this window a little narrower in the back. And this is back to the Rembrandt white because it's just easier to draw a hard edge with. So get those in, and they're all wobbly and everything, and then I'm going to come back with the blue and try to tidy it up a little. I probably should have used my my white charcoal pencil to do them, but also I just don't want it to be. Well, I'm trying not to care that it's not perfect. I can't make it perfect, and I'm just trying not to care. You know, perfect windows is not what made me want to paint this picture, so. Wow, it's pretty tempting to actually try to maybe take this whole part of the house out and just have the roof run. I don't know, should I try that? They say you should try everything. I try everything I think of, usually. What if this roof just kept running straight downhill? And all that became sky. Well, now that it's occurred to me, it's like, ugh, I just can't bear not to do it. So I just knock some of that blue and those colors off back there. Oh, there went, everything just fell out of the back of the easel again. Good night. I need a GoFundMe for my stupid easel. If I could figure out how to fix it, I really would, but I just can't figure out. And I don't have anybody to ask. a clamp. I should just get a clamp and give up on the top of the easel. All right, let me see how that looks. All right, you know, I think I'm going to like that better rather than all that weird crap going on. And luckily I found, just at this moment, I found this some sort of soft blue pastel that I could use in here to cover that up. Oh my God, there's something else I never saw. This, of course, has its own little roof right there. And that's why there's a shadow. All right, so this angle is too steep. It's a huge house. Maybe I can just let it keep going all the way across like that. All right, so this little roof up here is darker. Well, that is not darker, but I swear that roof is darker. All right, so there's that. Get a little more warmth in the sky. And then get a little more yellows up there again. Here we go again with the yellow situation. All right, which did I think was the best? I thought the Winsor Newton was the best. So. All right, you know what? That made me very anxious to do that, but honestly, I just think it looks better without all this stuff that I just could not figure out back there. Let's try something else. I don't know what. I'm having to push down really hard, and it's not. All right, well, we need something else here. All right, well, let's just see if I actually turn the camera back on. Yes, okay. All right, let's see if I can finish it with, if I can finish it without spraying it again, or just, you know, be done enough for a demonstration. Okay. So I've got, yeah, I can't figure out this color. Maybe it's a little lighter, just a little bit lighter. All right, thank God I remembered I was supposed to be getting rid of those guys. think I'm feeling like, I don't want to do another work from another photograph like this where I just don't know what's going on. Like if I was outdoors, I could walk around and sort of figure out what was going on. But I just think it's too much here. I just need that a little lighter, but not too much. Maybe this. And we definitely need some yellows to come over the wall. Yeah, I'm not very happy. But you never know. Sometimes you're happier later. Right in the moment, you have this idea of what you were hoping to achieve. And then over time, that idea fades. And then it doesn't look so terrible to you, probably. So I never anymore. The last time I tore up a painting, I tore it up I took a photograph of it, and then I tore it up. And this was back in the days when, you had to have your film developed. So it was a long time ago. So I get my film back, and I look at that photograph of that painting that I tore up because I was so angry. And it was like, what did I even think was wrong with this thing? Because it just looked about as good as anything else I ever did. So since that day, so long ago, I never ripped things to shreds. At least not on the same day. I have had plenty of bonfires, but they were after the fact. Things that and I have thrown away plenty of paintings when I couldn't have a bonfire. Wow, I just can't decide which way I want to go here. Do I want this plant darker? See what this does. Nothing. All right, I thought that was really green, but it's not very green. I don't know, I just feel like I can't make this do what I want either, so maybe just a little more light. All right, now, I sort of feel like maybe what I want here is a bunch of different boxes with individual colors in them. I really like this separate box of yellows I have going now. Okay. I'm just going to see if I can get that. Just a little more yellow. You can probably see I'm being a little more careful now. There's just some things, though, they're just so sloppy. All right, now the ding dang daffodils. So I think you have to do is you have to get the really big things first, the big shapes in your painting, and that's what attracts a viewer to your work from across the room. But then when they get up close, maybe you're going to give them a little reward for coming closer, and that's what this little part is now. It's their reward for coming a little closer to see things they couldn't see from a distance. But if your painting only has these little things, nobody will ever walk over to see it, because the big shapes are what carry it from a distance. So that's why it's so important that your painting look good when you back up. It's in the beginning, it doesn't really matter if it looks terrible up close. What matters is, does it look good when you back up? And I know, oh my God, so many times in art class, I just was so afraid to back up because I knew it wasn't going well. But once you know that, you really should back up, and then you can do something about it, because until you really know, you can't fix it. So making mistakes is not a problem. It's not knowing that you've done something that could be better. So take some courage. This is that white that's not a Rembrandt. I just add a little white in the yellow too to get a lighter yellow. And then the daffodils. Just a minute though, just do a little bit of Oh, I still got quite a bit of red paper showing down there. Maybe that's part of my problem here. I need something lighter than you. All right, what am I doing? Oh, greens, okay. I would like a bluish green. All right, and now the red situation. Yeah, that, I don't know, that one doesn't seem purple. Perfect, perfect. Let's try a little purple. It's so tempting. You find something you think just works really well, and then it's very tempting to just use it too much. So I did like that pink quite a bit, but I'm just put it aside for a minute. Oh, and I really like it with that orange on top, so maybe I'll grab it again. Oh, except what the heck did I do with it? Oh, here it is. And I do need to get this covered up down in here. And then maybe a little more lights too. Nope. What would you do, I wonder? It's really too green, too yellowy a thing, but maybe if I don't use it too much, it'd be kind of a good thing in there. All right, I'm going to call it quits for now.